The tweet went something like this.
I've planted bombs around the floor of the theater. I will crash into the theater by truck and will burn the whole building down.
You should have let me cast a tent. You know what? This is kind of a serious situation. Let me not joke about that. Let me not crack jokes about that, okay?
The fact that the characters were so positive and happy made him incredibly jealous in real life.
Okay. Alright, bro. My hat! I have been disrobed. Alright, bro. So this nigga's basically saying they were so happy it made me mad. That's basically what he's saying. He's saying that Don't you say nothing about my wizard pants, by the way. I feel like niggas is finna say something about that. The council didn't give me the full robe. This is my keyblade, though.
Racist against rappers, they all look the same to him. They used to beg him not to egg him on Halloween. He told him holler back with the suede Pumas, dollar green. Nah, I mean, heat it up till the temperature tarball. Y'all just gawk like gargoyle.
Dude, my fucking... You can see the fucking wig cap through this thing. Oh my god. Y'all better appreciate what I do. Oh my god. Y'all better appreciate what I do for you, okay? Do you understand how long it took to get this wig on? I'm barely skirting by with this. What's up? How y'all doing today, man? I told Harry Potter, I told his favorite thought to throw it back on that young wizard. Y'all hear me? How am I gonna put the headphones on? Whatever, we gonna figure that out. Yeah, this is gonna be my Halloween costume, so I hope y'all like it. Anyway, I got a couple of reactions to do today, so let's get it. If you've known about this channel for a while, then you already know about I reacted to a video a while ago about the worst crimes the anime community has ever created. And seeing how I'm, you know, part of the anime community, I decided, why don't I just react to it myself? And I'm gonna give you my unsolicited opinions about it, okay? Let's get it, baby. Yapmaster. Most disturbing crimes the anime community has ever committed. Oh my god. We're in for a bit of a doozy. Let me know if my cam is too big. I'm kind of freeballing it right now, man. It's gonna be a little bit of a box. Look, I'm doing this all myself, okay? It's not gonna be perfect. All right, I think the lack of perfection is part of the charm of the entire channel, personally. That's just me, though. I don't know about y'all. And before you ask... Oh, that keeps the hair out of my eyes. Before you even say it, yes, I have my bonnet underneath the wig cap because the hair kept getting into my real hair. So, shut up, bro. All right. Expose these people to a young wizard.
These are the most disturbing crimes committed by anime fans, starting with... It was March 14, 2015, and the 7th Pretty Cure film was going to have its...
What the hell is Pretty Cure?
...first screening at the Shinjuku Theater. Strangely though, security at the venue was unusually tight for an anime screening, and it was all because just 2 days earlier, a 22-year-old man posted a series of tweets that put the entire staff on high alert. Pretty Cure is a franchise that has become increasingly popular in Japan and all over the world since its release.
I feel like it's crazy that I don't know this. Like I feel like I should know this, but I don't know, man.
Produced by Washio Takashi, this franchise centers around a group of magical girls who are granted special powers to fight evil forces on Earth. This might sound simple and almost childish, but Precure, as it is commonly known, is the 7th highest grossing anime film franchise in the world.
What? I swear I didn't know that. So this is like an unironic magical girl anime. Wow.
And apart from this, the video game sales of Precure had earned the parent company, Bandai Namco, a shocking total of...
What? Bandai Namco made this? Well, I mean, it says the 7th most highest grossing anime in the world, so shit.
billion yen over the course of 20 years.
54
This response is
million.
mostly due to the franchise's wholesome and cute content, but 22-year-old Fumiya Otaki didn't find it healthy or cute. While studying in Nibuta, Otaki initially
It sounds like Otaki needs to be struck. Sorry.
fell in love with anime, but things would soon take a turn for the worse. On May 12, 2015, he posted on Twitter that he had planted a bomb in the popular Shinjuku theater, where
Why?
the Precure film was going to be screened at. The tweet went something like this.
I've planted bombs around the floor of the theater. I will crash into the theater by truck and will burn the whole building down.
Since there was only a day before
For why though? Like what? Why? That's my question. Why? You should have let me cast a tent. You know what? This is kind of a serious situation. Let me not joke about that.
the film's
Let me not crack jokes about that, okay? I'm a wizard. I'm a nigga, not an actual wizard, okay?
screening, the production company let the police take care of it. And after a thorough search of the theater's premises, the police department assured everyone that there was no bomb and that the pose was just a bluff. And the screening turned out to be a success, and everything went back to normal.
So that nigga's just a fuck nigga.
But that was only on the surface. But before I reveal why it happened and who did this, allow me to reveal something about myself. Being connected to your family is more important than ever, and I always wanted
This is about to be an ad.
to know more about my own history.
I detect an ad.
Since my parents moved to a different country before I was born, so I never really felt that connected to my extended family, which is why this video is sponsored by MyHeritage, the #1 platform to uncover your roots and build your own story. I just had to go through my magic
We gotta watch the ads, people. I feel bad for not watching the ad if I just watched the video,
7, which is typing in information about my parents, my grandparents, and of course myself for MyHeritage to help me find more about my roots. And with their unique tools such as the instant discovery feature, I was able to add entire branches of new family members with just a few clicks. But it's not just that. For
It's crazy. I've actually tried one of these like ancestry things, and like on my mom's side there was some history, but then on my dad's side it's like literally just straight, like 4 generations. It's just nothing but straight slaves, dude. And it's like, damn. Jeez, I mean.
of my family members that I added, by using the smart match feature, I was able to find old photos and more information about them. I mean, MyHeritage has a database with 36 billion historical records, which is more than enough to go on. I was even able to find a real transcript of the newspaper that states that my relative had 12 children, which is a fact that I didn't even know. MyHeritage also has a feature to bring an old photo to life. I was able to colorize and animate it, which is a great way to see what these heroes would look like today. What I personally found most interesting is that my family is actually spread across so many different countries, ranging from Asia, the US, and Europe. So
Alright, now this nigga flexing his jeans. Okay, buddy.
if you want to know more about your roots and start building your own family tree and
Hello, Mora.
support this channel, you can try MyHeritage for free for 14 days by using my link in the description or scanning this QR
Yapmaster.
code right here. Behind the scenes, the police tried to find out who was behind those tweets, and finally, months later in August, they would find their culprit, who was of course none other than Otaki himself, and that was also when he revealed his motive. Otaki stated that although he was a fan of the show, the fact that the characters were so positive and happy made him incredibly jealous in real life.
Okay. Alright, bro. My hat! I have been disrobed. Alright, bro. So this nigga's basically saying they were so happy it made me mad. That's basically what he's saying. He's saying that he's... Oh, my keyblade fell. Golly, dude. Don't you say nothing about my wizard pants, by the way. I feel like niggas is finna say something about that. Okay? The wizard robe, the council didn't give me the full robe. This is my keyblade, though. I got it off of auction house for like $15, bro. It's real metal and everything. Feel me? I don't even cosplay. I still gotta finish Kingdom Hearts, so that's why I can't really flex it too much. Hell yeah. Hoorah! I have to remember the order of everything. God damn. God. Freed me. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. It's actually not even that hard to breathe through the beard. Believe it or not. Okay. Alright, let's go.
And he decided to teach everyone who's associated with the show a lesson. That was the reason he put up that twisted post claiming he would bomb the theater. This case showed that even young adults
Nigga lost his mind, bro. What's the purpose?
can be driven to do stupid things. But in the next case, we see a kid doing something similar but far more sinister.
I think the mystery shrouding this is what's causing the alarm to parents.
What?
Parents are afraid, kids are afraid.
Death Note.
Death Note is one of those
Okay, I have a bit of a story. I think it was back in elementary school, I actually had this one girl in class, and she had a little notebook that she kept in her desk, and she kept writing in the names of all of the classmates that she wanted to die. And I'm just now piecing it together that she actually, because this is before I even watched anime, so I'm piecing together that she might have been writing her own Death Note. I never really thought about that. The anime would have been out by then, so yeah, she might. I think she got suspended, and then she had to move schools, but she literally had. Oh my God, bro! I'm about to just switch to a young. Look at all this hair in my hair. Dude, I'm about to lose my mind, bro. This is ridiculous. Yeah, the girl in my class, basically, she had her own Death Note, and it was kind of crazy.
Anime that is popular both in and out of anime circles because of its unique plot and gripping characters. Death Note is about this guy called Light Yagami, who finds a book that has the power to cause someone's death once you write their name in it.
And as soon as he got over his first kill, bro, he immediately started catching bodies.
This is obviously just a fact.
Do y'all, okay, anime niggas, was Light right? I don't believe so, but yeah.
Fantasy. But one girl would take this idea and make it disturbingly real. It was in October 2015 when Danielle Sherris found her daughter, whom we will call Lucy, unwilling to go to her school, which was Nashua High School North in New Hampshire. When Danielle asked her why her daughter didn't want to go to school, Lucy initially stayed silent, but eventually revealed the cause. Apparently her classmate, let's call her Irene, was inspired by Death Note to keep her very own list. In this book, Irene wrote the names of 17 students whom she disliked, and beside their names wrote the way they will die in the very near future. And though it may seem like a twisted joke to some adults, for children it was disturbingly real. Well,
yeah, like when the girl in my elementary school got caught, like, well, they didn't tell people who was on the list, obviously, but like, you know, who, like, you know, she was the girl, like, she was one of those who would get picked on. You immediately had a good idea of who was probably going to be on the list, and everybody was just like, dude, what the dude, that's crazy.
No transcript of the book is actually available. The depictions of the deaths are reportedly highly detailed and unsettling. And after seeing...
Yeah, I don't think she wrote details of how we died. I think she was just writing names the girl I'm talking about in my real life. This sounds even crazier, low key.
Her name at the 3rd position in the list, Lucy became genuinely scared that she'd die exactly as told. And Danielle would talk about it in a Facebook post, saying,
On Friday, the administration uncovered a list naming 17 students along with the dates, times, and the ways they would die. My daughter was on that list and went to a principal in fear, only to be told it was being handled and to return to class. The school told parents it was based on a Japanese anime and not a threat. The girl who made the list put my daughter at number 3, over a dirty look from 2nd grade. My daughter is now afraid to return to school. School often start with a list like this, and I refuse to take it lightly. I don't want Nashua to be the next Columbine, because we didn't take a death threat list seriously.
And even though the school tried its best to calm the parents, it was futile. The situation...
Yeah, I mean, valid though. Like, come on, bro. As a parent, if you found out that your kid, like, even me, like, if I were to become a parent, right? Hopefully, I never had to experience this, but if I found out my kid got put on a damn death note, nigga, I'm summoning a Shinigami. Like, we got a battle. You know what I mean? I'm joking. But no, if I found out that my kid was on a death note, I would take my kid out to school. I would be like, yo, to actually go out of your way to create a death note, and you're probably actually hoping that it actually happens, like it actually comes to truth, I gotta get my kid up out of there. We gotta make sure they double check your book bag. I'm not playing. Fuck that.
Became so serious that the Nashua Police Department had to intervene, and only after a thorough investigation did it become clear that it was all just a childish fantasy, and that there was no actual threat to this.
Imagine the old heads back in the day, because this is back before. Is it 2015? Yeah. No, this was back before anime became like a mainstream kind of thing. So, absolutely, those old heads back then were not understanding this shit. Like, oh my god, I'm about to crash. Back in the day, those old heads were not understanding this shit, bro. Hell no.
Students. Now you might think this is the limit to stupidity, but the next fan shows how easily one can get arrested.
静岡市の静岡高校に侵入して机などを盗んだとして市内の20代の男が逮捕されました。
Love Life is about a few teenage girls who live their dreams of being idols in modern-day Japan.
I've heard of this one. I've never watched it, but I have heard of this one.
It's very similar to Pretty Cure and has gotten super popular since its release. In 2016, the physical sales of this franchise reached a whopping 8 billion yen, making it one of the most popular franchises in Japan. But like any other popular media, Love Life 2 had its fair share of controversy. But this was not due to its content, but due to its followers. While the majority of people are normal, some individuals here and there bring all the attention to themselves by committing weird acts.
Yeah.
Like Kohei Ohori, a 28-year-old who seemed to not have outgrown his love for the franchise, because in October 2021, he decided to act on it by going on a burglary spree when he broke into a local school and stole one long desk, an extension table, an amplifier, and a desk from a private junior high.
What was he about to have his own concert? Like, what was the purpose? You're not gonna get you no anime cooch. I don't know. I don't understand what was the purpose. This nigga thought he was about to get isekai'd in there or something. Like, what are we talking about?
He escaped without being caught, and after a successful...
The fact that you can break into a school, steal a bunch of desks, and not get caught on the way out is crazy. I hope this beats up their security.
Attempt, he then visited a private school for girls to steal 10 items too, including uniforms. In total, he would steal 16 items from these 2 schools.
He hit 2 schools?
But everything nearly went wrong because Ohori almost got caught when a police officer stopped him while he was transporting an amplifier on a bicycle. He only narrowly escaped by lying that he is on his way from playing in the basement of Shizuoka Station. The success of stealing from the first and second school made him so overconfident that he even decided to steal from a third school.
Oh my hell no. Then what the hell?
This time, however,
yeah, but like, what did he do with them? Did he have like a weird shrine to the anime? Like, what? I'm still not understanding, why did you steal desks and chairs and stuff and an amplifier? Like, I can see the amplifier. At least you can sell the amp. But the desk and the chairs, like, what are we talking about? I know you're not studying.
He wasn't satisfied with spending only an hour there. He actually decided to spend around 12 hours from 6 p.m. to 7 a.m.
What?
on the school premises. Unfortunately for him, he would have...
What? That's how you know that nigga is a loser, bro. Imagine wanting to spend extra time on school.
eventually...
This was free time. You was 28 while doing this. They probably thought that nigga was a pede. What?
get caught. All thanks to the residents who complained that someone was in the school even after the school hours. And on February 2022, when Ohori stood trial, the prosecuting lawyer revealed Ohori's true motive.
You became deeply absorbed in Love Live Sunshine, a school-themed anime. You wanted to recreate the kind of school life you had imagined back in your student days. And that's what led you to the idea of stealing a desk from a school. But originally you had purchased a desk online. Why did it escalate to theft?
And
Why a desk? Like, okay, let me just. My wizard wisdom. Okay, I'm accessing my wizard wisdom. So basically, you wanted to be a student again, I guess, so you could feel closer to the anime characters because they're in a high school in the anime and you're pushing 30. And I feel like you ever seen that one meme off of South Park where it was like step 1, get underpants, step 2, step 3, profit. Like, you went from wanting to be a school kid again. No, you went from stealing desk, question mark. I don't even know what the third step is. I don't even know what the third step is. What, goon to the anime? Like, what are we talking about?
even advocates would ask a similar question.
You do know that school desks and furniture can be purchased online, right?
And he would simply say,
Yes, but Love Life is about the real school environment. I wanted to feel like I was truly a part of that world. The school life, the club activities. So to enhance that immersive feeling, I felt like I needed an actual desk that had been used in a real school. So you're saying a desk...
But why the uniforms, though? Why the uniforms? That should have been the first question.
bought online wouldn't help you fully visualize or immerse yourself in that world? Exactly, yes, that's right. Why did you steal? Originally I felt homesick, like I wanted to experience the nostalgia and mood of my school days and youth, or that I wanted to go back to spending time with my family. The reason was that I wanted to go back to when I was little.
and after
Your family probably disowns you.
much back and forth, Ohori would be sentenced to 2 years in prison for stealing. But
I mean, I don't know, bro. I don't know what I could say to that. What? Why the uniforms? Why'd you steal the girl uniforms, though? That's what I'm trying to understand. Because, okay, the desk, whatever, bro. What are you stealing the uniforms for? You can't wear them. What you gonna do, sniff them? I think we gotta banish this nigga to the Shadow Realm. Evict this!
while Ohori's actions can be considered somewhat harmless, this next Love Live fan took things to a far more dangerous level.
Another
On
Love
October
Life?
23rd, 2015, a teenager named Tanaka shockingly posted a violent message targeting Love Live fans. He even included a chilling picture of himself, staring into
Oh my god. You made me knock my hat off, bro. This gotta be the corniest. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Who is taking this serious? Who is looking at this and taking this picture serious, bro? Let's be real. Let's be so real, bro. Let's be so real. This nigga, this nigga posted licking a knife and you thought what you thought? I ain't gonna lie, bro. I would just laugh at this nigga. I would probably be his main target because I would have been laughed at him. This is ridiculous, dude. This look like it would be in one of those cringe compilations on TikTok. Nigga licked at a damn knife and thought he was like Mike Myers or something, bro. You're threatening to stab niggas over an anime. Like, how serious are we taking this nigga? Okay, bro.
the camera while brandishing a knife. And the post reads,
Without exception, I will kill all of this country's love livers with these hands. Love livers are frauds and participate in antisocial behavior like stomping all over movie theater flyers.
What are you talking about? This man was just not all the way there.
I will not allow such people to remain on this earth. I'll definitely kill them.
Tanaka would quickly realize how foolish it was to make a public threat and reveal his identity at the same time. And the
Oh my god, yeah, that nigga is stupid, bro.
police also wasted no time in arresting and charging him with obstructing business. Now ironically, during his questioning, Tanaka confessed his love for the anime, stating that his threats stem from his hatred for how some people behave publicly. Their reactions annoyed him to the point of believing they deserved to be unalived.
So I'm gonna chalk this up to, because I understand the sentiment, right? Have you ever been to a theater when an anime movie was playing? Have you? Let me explain something to y'all, okay? When Dragon Ball Super Broly, the movie, dropped, and I went to go watch it, I had to go see it by myself because none of my homeboys was watching Dragon Ball at the time. Lame niggas. Dude, I was in there, bro. The nigga to my right, he took off his shoes and his feet stunk. The nigga to my left was musty. And at the end of the movie, when the movie was over, I really couldn't have enjoyed it because I felt like I was getting like somebody had dropped a smoke bomb in that bitch, bro. I felt like my lungs were being like toxified. Dude, I had to stay back because my wallet fell in between the chair seats, so I had to stay back looking for my wallet. I'm being so dead ass. Hold on. I'm being so dead ass when I say this. The fucking workers came into the theater and they started spraying air freshener everywhere. I was like, yo. I talked to one of the workers. I said, bro, was it like this for every showing? And he said, yeah. As anime niggas, we got to do better. Like, real talk, there's no excuse for going to a movie theater with your butt stinking. Because you plan to go to the theater in advance. The theater isn't something you just do on a whim. You gotta look it up online and find out the showing that you want to go to and everything. And in the time that you took to find a more reasonable time for you and stuff, you didn't even plan to wash your butt in that time period. You know, like you chose to go to the movie theater stinking. That's the most insane thing to me, bro. That's the most insane thing to me. We as anime fans gotta do better, bro. For real. Matter of fact, don't even put me in the same boat as y'all. Evict us.
Now in contrast to Tanaka, who expressed his anger on others, this next fan chose to display his passion for anime through self-harm.
Este chico se enamoró de un personaje de anime. Por eso hizo algo terrible.
That's when he did something terrible. Anime death.
It was August 24th, 2016, when Wendy Arones Abando and Jesus Gamboa Ramirez entered their son's room to check up on him. And what they found in his room was something no parent ever wants to see.
Oh no.
Their son Taylor Gamboa Arones was years old and deeply into anime and manga. Specifically, he was into an anime called Heaven's Lost Property.
He knew ball. He knew ball. That's a legendary anime. I'm not gonna lie. If you know, you know. I ain't gonna speak on it.
Which centered around a teenage kid named Tomoe Sakurai, who stumbled upon an alien girl who then became his servant. While the plot could seem pretty straightforward, this anime was famous for fan service, which in anime refers to elements included in a series specifically to please the audience, often by appealing to their desires or expectations.
In my defense though, I was like 14 when I watched this anime, so yeah. Back off!
For example, Heaven's Lost Property openly showed its alien main character in revealing clothes, and was full of dirty jokes and suggestive humor. Fan service like this is really popular in the anime community and ensures that people watch these shows and bond with the characters. Sometimes,
Yeah, like, Oh my god, bro. I'm not gonna talk about this. Fan service. I mean, look, there's a time and a place for it, and I'm not gonna hate on the game. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has their vices, and I ain't gonna lie, it's harmless. Like seeing like half naked girls in your anime. Are you really gonna complain about that? Like, what are we talking about? I like seeing titties. I like anime titties. What's illegal about that? Sue me. However, it's, it be throwing me off whenever it's happening in my age now. Back when I was a teenager, I didn't care. But at my grown age of 26 now, I can't get behind sexualizing the high schoolers. Like, I can't get behind that. Dude, I'm about to take this beard off, bro. What is going on? But yeah, fan service has a time and a place. And I feel like, now that Japan has implemented new like child protection laws and stuff, because I know that they increased the age of consent just recently. I feel like we're gonna see less and less high schoolers getting sexualized, hopefully. But I don't know. But yeah, at my age now, I can't approve of that. I just can't. But back when I was 15, I was on top of that shit, bro.
However, this one turns out to be too extreme. Like in the case of Taylor, who developed an unusual and unsettling obsession with the alien character Icarus. Taylor was completely smitten by her, buying caps, shirts, and action figures, and other merchandise related to her.
Niggas lost their mind. I'm not really a merch kind of guy.
He would even write letters to her and dream of being her master. His obsession was so complete that he seemed to have lost the ability to distinguish between a fictional character and reality. And 1 month later, on his birthday, Taylor, unable to bear her absence, would write one final letter.
I feel my heart explode and my soul break and crush, being destroyed each time. My heart is crushed without hope and my body aches in internal and external pain. It hurts. It hurts so much that you writhe from the pain in your chest. You can't stop crying because you know you're unhappy that you love someone and that you can't stop suffering. I love you, Icarus. And it hurts to know that you're not here. And I cry sometimes endlessly. And you want to escape, but you can't. I'm sad for myself. She existed for me. And what use is it to live if you can't be with the person you love so much? Truly. What's the point of working if you can't be with or go out with a person you love so much? I love it. If she were real, I would be happy. I would work only for her. And now I study for her. I want her to be real one day. To be able to tell her, marry me, Icarus. And see how you melt into me. I believe in her. She had all the good of being human and the purity of heart. I love you, Icarus, forever and always.
Y'all ever heard of the story about Randy Stair? He was this animation YouTuber, and he became obsessed with like the ghost girl from Danny Phantom, the rocker one. What's her name? Amber, I think. And he literally became so delusional he couldn't tell the difference between reality and fiction, and he like devoted his entire life to this fictional character, bro. I don't know what causes people to go off the deep end like that, but dude, that's why I wasn't saying nothing. That's just genuinely really sad to see, bro, because it's the parents that found the body. Like that's terrible, bro.
And after writing this letter, Taylor would go into his bedroom.
It's kind of morbid joke, but it's kind of fucked up that I'm watching this with a fucking wizard uniform. Let me take the wizard stuff off for a second, bro. Let me take the wizard stuff off for a second and be a little serious, because it's kind of fucked up. Yeah, let me do this. Okay. Put the hat back on, please. Okay. Oh yeah, definitely.
And leave this earth. He was dead. When his parents checked up on him, they found the walls covered with posters of Icarus and discovered the letter. And they would then go on to say,
we have a letter where he says that he wanted to die for love of that girl. He was delighted with Icarus. He asked God to forgive him, to take him to be next to the girl, and if not, he was going to be at the gates of hell, be with her. My wife got up at 5 AM, knocked on the door, and didn't answer me. I looked out the window and saw him suspended with the chain.
A chain?
And when I took him down, he was purple. I didn't take off the chain, which he wore on his pants.
And after coming to know more about the anime culture and
he did that with a wallet chain on his pants?
seeing how it adversely affected their son, the parents would openly call for a ban on anime. His father would even...
Slow down. Sorry for your loss, but slow down now. Wait a minute. You don't need to ban all anime.
burn all the merchandise Taylor bought.
I burned all the things: shirt, cassette, pins, and posters. He was in the 7th year of school. He didn't like studying. The money we gave him to eat was spent on that cartoon. He was obsessed. He thought the doll had life. We want to help many young people who are obsessed with these dolls to ignore them, and for parents to be more aware of their children.
And while from their perspective,
it's understandable. Like, you know, you lose your kid, you're gonna flip shit, bro. Honestly, you know, that's sad. Like, I'm not even gonna say nothing about it. I understand where they're coming from, bro, because that's, you know what I'm saying, this
might just seem justified. Their decision to call for a ban just because their son was addicted was met with ridicule on anime-related internet forums.
Oh yeah, no, I guarantee you, because anime, look, bro, one of the most, if you see my other videos, you know I be saying rap is one of the most toxic. The anime community is outrageous. You know how earlier I said niggas should have washed their asses before, like, going to the movie theater? I guarantee you, there's people out there that are going to hear that. Well, not me saying that specifically because I'm so small, channel-wise, no diddy. When people hear the argument that you need to wash your butt before you go to the damn theater, I have unironically heard people argue the opposite and saying why they shouldn't have to. Nigga, it's ridiculous, bro.
Kid had his screw loose and self-terminated. As unfortunate as this is, there are far worse. Since the dawn of video games, anime, and other stuff that is flat out unrelated, the parents/others of sad events blame everything.
Fans like these blame other fans for tarnishing the image of the anime industry, but they don't realize that the bad reputation might also come from people inside the industry, like the next man.
It came to light that the 52-year-old producer had reportedly forced the year-old girl to give him explicit photos.
Manga creators often face negative stereotypes outside the anime community. Unfortunately, men like Kenya Suzuki only serve to reinforce these harmful perceptions. Suzuki is the creator of the famous manga Please Tell Me, Gaiko-chan, which was started in 2014 and ended in 2021. And the reason behind its end is a dark one.
Jesus. We know what this dude was on. I ain't never seen this.
In 2021, and the reason behind its end is a dark one. It all started.
Yeah, that, like, for me personally, bro, fan service has a limit. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, it gets to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm basically just watching softcore, and I don't know if I want to keep watching this. You know what I mean?
When Suzuki's friend, another manga creator, Batan, tweeted out that Suzuki had been missing since December 8th, 2020. He asked everyone to spread the word and help him find his friend. And a few days later, Suzuki would be found, but Batan had no idea about the disturbing reason behind Suzuki's absence. A few days before, the police started searching Suzuki's house because they got information from customs that he had imported some illegal things from Germany. And the police subsequently found a large amount of obscene material in Suzuki's house. Material that was alarming on a different level, because it involved explicit images of younger people, if you get what I mean. And after searching more, the Aichi Prefecture police would end up finding around 46 such magazines in Suzuki's...
Magazines? What you mean? Hold on, bro. Alright. Hold on, bro. Cause I know I must be tweaked out. Where are you getting magazines of CP? Where? CDs, DVDs, pictures, flash drives. This nigga said magazines? Who are you? Who? From who? From where? That's crazy, bro. A fucking magazine of CP. Yo. Oh my god, bro.
House. And during the interrogation, Suzuki did not hesitate to tell the dark truth. He admitted that while he bought those magazines himself, it was legal.
They're physical magazines. They're actual magazines. Like, I got Game Informer magazines in my cabinet over here. You're telling me that he had one of those, but with CP? I've never heard. What the fuck, dude? Purchase the books. What the fuck? Books of CP. What the fuck?
When he bought them. And on top of that, he said that those magazines were imported from Germany because he desperately needed them.
What?
No matter what, I wanted photos of nude from overseas, which you can't get in Japan.
And all throughout his
Why can you get it in Germany?
trial, Suzuki didn't once try to appeal the court's decision and almost immediately pleaded guilty to all the charges. So on 29th of March 2022, he was sentenced to 1 year in prison with 3.
What? Oh my god, bro. Oh my god, bro. Oh my. What the fuck? Dude. Let's just finish this video, bro.
Extra years on probation. Now just 2 years later, an even more disturbing case emerged, involving a prominent anime producer. This time, however, the crimes were even more disturbing and more dangerous.
Is this I can't remember his name, the one who made Rurouni Kenshin?
Your Name and Suzume are two anime films that everyone praises immensely.
Yeah, I've heard of both of these.
They both have been nominated in many film festivals all around the world.
Yeah.
But this story would begin in 2024, when Suzume receives the Best Film Award in the Crunchyroll Award Show. But while this is happening, behind the scenes, the Japanese police are already investigating a series of incidents.
What?
When they come across the name of the producer of Your Name and Suzume, Koichiro Ito, and the allegations against him turn out to be pretty disturbing. In 2021, he supposedly paid a girl a decent sum of 12,000 yen to get her to take explicit selfies and sent them to him. Following that, he also paid two other girls around 50,000 yen to engage in adult acts with him. But the problem was,
this nigga up there with Jared Fogle, bro.
the ages of these girls range from to years old. Ito, after being arrested and charged, didn't hesitate to confess the crimes, pleading guilty to 11 cases of exploitation, 9 cases of photographing inappropriate poses, 10 cases of creating inappropriate content involving 1 case of non-consensual adult activity involving 1 case of exploitation, and possession of 5 pieces of inappropriate content involving. And
dude, this video took such a sharp turn into like no man's land. We started off with people just being like, we started off with somebody calling in a fake bomb threat over a magical girl anime, to now niggas just straight up having CP. Like this, in the span of 17 minutes, we've gone from a level 4 to a level 9.5. And the fact that this is not even halfway through the video, I gotta stop yapping.
The truly puzzling aspect of this is that Ito did this knowingly, and the judge would give a final ruling that said
He repeatedly offered money to engage in and secretly photograph images of intercourse. This has a significant adverse effect on the healthy development of the mind and the body of the victims, who are immature in their ability to make autonomous decisions. The degree of responsibility and blame is high.
After this news came out, the Your Name director, Makoto Shinkai, who's a long-term associate of Ito, tweeted out how he felt about this whole issue.
Upon seeing the news of the arrest of someone involved with the work, I am deeply shocked. First and foremost, I extend my heartfelt sympathies to
I got to imagine that he hid that shit under lock and key, bro.
the victims. I also feel truly sorry for causing unease among everyone who loves and supports the work. I believe that this incident does not diminish the value of the work itself, but it is only natural that some may view it with distrust. The fact is truly disturbing and saddening to me.
Now this next case takes obsession to a truly new level.
Female underground idol who... What? Oh, he broke into the home of a female underground idol who address he had identified from photos posted on social media. Niggas who can do this, like besides the actual like breaking in and trying to harass the celebrity for no fucking reason other than the fact that you're horny and obsessed, the people that can look at a picture and identify where you're at based off the picture, you niggas are freaks. I'm just gonna say that. There's no reason why you should have that capability unless you're like a detective. The pro stalker.
Eina Matsuoka was a young idol in an underground J-pop group, and like many performers, she regularly shared selfies and candid snapshots online to stay connected with her fans. But there was one man who was looking for more than just a connection. The man was Hibiki Sato, a
long ass head
26-year-old who became obsessed with Eina in an unsettling way. He didn't just enjoy her music or photos, but wanted to meet her in real life. And how far he actually went for this is just a proof of his obsession. One day when Eina posted her casual selfie, Sato noticed something that he could exploit. He saw a faint reflection of a train station in her pupils, and after zooming and enhancing this image, he used Google Street View to match that reflection to a real station. But his obsession
from a reflection in your pupils
wouldn't stop there. To know which floor she actually lived on, he studied how the light bounced off her curtains and other videos, observed the angle of shadows, and pieced together the exterior of her apartment building. And so step by step, he used these images to construct a map towards her house.
See, niggas like this could work in like crime scene analysis or like finding missing people. You put all of that into what? Trying to assault? This is crazy, bro.
It was September evening in 2019 when Sato put his plan into action. He followed Eina from a concert venue and waited outside her Tokyo apartment. And when she entered the building, he pounced on her and covered her mouth with a towel, dragged her down, and ended it with SA-ing her. She fought back by screaming, and thankfully this is when the neighbors were alerted, who then called the police. But by the time they arrived, Sato was long gone. Now despite this, the police managed to arrest Sato on September 17th, over 2 weeks later, after piecing together security footage and her
he pulled a U on you
report. And during questioning, he calmly admitted to everything as he told investigators he located her address by analyzing her social media photos. But while this case is a story of obsession, the next one goes to places.
What happened though? How much time he get for that? Cause I low-key need to know. I need to know how long he got locked up for, because the other guy only got a year and some change for possessing magazines, like physical books of CP. I feel like the fact that you got a physical book of CP should just add extra time on it because of how egregious that is. That means you weren't even trying to hide it.
That are deeply shocking and disturbing.
The jurors found her guilty on all 6 charges, including kidnapping, aggravated assault, and unlawful restraint of a...
What? The Philly kidnapper?
In January of 2012, 19-year-old Christina Regusters entered the Bryant Elementary School in Philadelphia to kidnap a 5-year-old girl named Jane, who came to the same daycare where she worked. To get Jane out of the school campus, Christina disguised herself as Jane's mother. She wore...
Oh
An outfit similar to her mother and stuffed a bag in her dress to look pregnant. Now her next task was to deceive the school officials. This turned out to be a little complicated, since the school's policy stated that a parent has to provide identity proof to take their children home. This was obviously in place for security reasons.
Yeah.
But that day, for some reason, Rain and Lil Jon, Jane's teacher, would allow Christina to...
What did you say?
That day, for some reason, Rain and Lil Jon...
Okay, you know, I'm not gonna say nothing because I don't think English is his first language. Reginald,
Jane's teacher, would allow Christina to take the 5-year-old with her, even though Christina didn't provide any proof. And
I hope that nigga got fired, bro.
all of this was captured by the
Fired and publicly shamed.
cameras. After taking Jane to her house, Christina blindfolded and did unspeakable things to the girl's body. This torture continued for about 19 hours. During this time, Christina, to trick the girl, made sure that she changed her voice in different tones to make it seem like that many different people were actually torturing her. She even put up an illusion that there was a woman named China in the room. But this detail...
Yo, I would say sometimes I want to know what's going on in these people's, in this kind of person's head, but at the same time, bro, I don't think I want to, because it can't be anything sane.
would come back later to bite her. After she did what she did, Christina bathed Jane and left her in ragged clothes in a nearby park. This was early in the morning, and Jane's cries for help were mostly unheard, but this was until a sanitation worker discovered her and actually called the police. When she was eventually examined by a doctor, they found out that she was severely injured in certain areas, and so
Oh my god, bro.
quickly the police started investigating the case with the help of what Jane could recollect of the whole ordeal. She recounted everything she
What this got to do with what this got to do with anime, bro?
remembered, from the moment she was picked up at school to the moment she was left in the park. And out of the whole recollection, one detail stood out. The woman who kidnapped her had a talking parrot that kept saying, "You're fired." And this proved to be a crucial detail, and the police started asking people about this bird, and they were gradually led to Christina's house. On top of this, when Jane was driven around the neighborhood by the police,
How the hell did other people know that you had a... Okay.
she pointed to a house with a green door and claimed that this was where she stopped with the woman. And this house actually turned out to be Christina's. And when the police entered, the talking bird exclaimed, "You're fired." In February of 2013, Christina was finally arrested and charged with serious allegations of kidnapping, aggravated assault, and indecent activity with it. But it took almost an entire year before Christina actually appeared in the
This ugly ass drawing. I bet that's accurate too.
court because the prosecution needed more time to get definite evidence that it was her who did it. And this they actually did. The first piece of evidence was regarding her name she used to trick Jane, which was China. Upon interrogating Christina's family members, it was revealed that China was her childhood nickname. Another piece of evidence...
So they asked, why did she use her real fucking nickname? I'm not trying to give nobody the sauce on how to get away with a crime, especially nothing like this. But why did you use your real name? Your real nickname?
It presented was Christina's search history just before the day of the kidnapping, which included a search for a Muslim outfit which emulated her actual mother's outfits, and tips on how to remove DNA evidence. But these would be pale in comparison to the things they found in her older search history. Christina's history was filled with searches for inappropriate and videos, and
oh my god, so she was she was a pedo.
Especially anime that showed being tortured in cruel and disturbing ways. The search history hinted that Christina was heavily into a genre of adult content called lolicon, which shows
Oh no, bro. Oh no, bro. The lolicons strike again. There's nothing wrong with lollies inherently, because, you know, you're allowed to have kids in anime. But what some of y'all niggas be doing with these lollies? Absolutely not.
and early teenagers in indecent acts. These details were very important, since her defense argued that Christina wasn't the main criminal, but other men were.
My client is a major participant in this affair.
You be thinking defense lawyers be knowing that their clients are lying, like, completely?
I think there are others who are far more responsible.
But by showing this dark side of her through her search history, it was proof beyond doubt that it was only Christina all along. All of these facts turned out to be crucial in convincing the jury of Christina's crime. And finally, in October 2015, she was sentenced to 40 years in prison.
Good. That's how you sentence a child weirdo, Japan.
Jane's family even filed a lawsuit against her school, whose fault of letting the girl go with the
Good, get that money. That's millions of dollars, easily.
The stranger was the main reason this actually happened. But while anime may have played a role in this crime, the next man went even further than that.
On the charge of murder, I sentence you to life imprisonment and impose a minimum period of imprisonment of 13 years.
Minimum of 13 years? The Bleach murder.
Bleach stands out as one of the most popular animes ever. Its immense popularity even inspiring a man in Auckland to commit a crime. It's 2017 in central Auckland, and a 69-year-old man named Michael Mulholland was at his home in his ground floor flat when a man named Gabriel came to his door, having just been scammed by a woman upstairs, from whom he was attempting to buy illicit materials from. But she had taken his money and fled. After Michael explained to Gabriel that he knew nothing about the woman and asked Gabriel to leave, he responded by punching him in the face, rendering him unconscious. Gabriel then proceeded to stomp on Michael's head approximately 90 times over a span of 3 minutes, and as a result of the sustained attack and blunt force trauma, the elderly man died at the scene. Police arrested Gabriel the following evening after
God damn.
They watched the CCTV camera footage of the whole incident. Now the saddest part of this crime is that Michael was totally unrelated to the crime. He died simply because he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. But
this is why you gotta stay strapped.
During his trial, Gabriel began to fabricate a story, claiming he was mentally ill and that his actions weren't in his control. Now, unluckily for him, the jury didn't buy his story, and he would be sentenced to life in 2018. But over the years, Gabriel would keep appealing multiple times, and the forensic psychiatrist
Get that Echo Unlimited off of you, buddy.
who evaluated him revealed some very interesting details. The most important one is that Gabriel was supposedly inspired to kill Michael in that manner because he saw it in the anime Bleach. Gabriel claimed that Ichigo, the protagonist of the series, uses such a method to unalive his opponent, and so he did that too. And not only this, immediately after his arrest, Gabriel would suddenly start talking in Japanese too, and not serious, uses such a method to unalive his opponent, and so he did that too. And not only this.
So this nigga tried to recreate a death from Bleach? Oh my god, bro.
Immediately after his arrest, Gabriel would suddenly start talking in Japanese, leaving the police confused. But it was later revealed that Gabriel wasn't actually Japanese but Korean. And after connecting these details, in 2024, the defense psychiatrist named Dr. Kavney realized that Gabriel's Japanese talk after his arrest was actually a monologue from Bleach.
We have considered the video
Oh my god, bro. Oh my god, bro.
and the transcript of Mr. Yad Elohim's monologue. Dr. Kavney identifies several similarities between the video and the attack on Mr. Mulholland, and there are similarities also with Mr. Yad Elohim's monologue. The argument is that the video and the transcript together justify the inference that Mr. Yad Elohim was in the grip of a delusion when he attacked Mr. Mulholland.
But the court ended up denying this appeal too. And while Gabriel got inspired to kill one man, this next individual didn't stop at only one person.
Oh, that's Randy Stair, ain't it?
In the video, he admits killing his mom, his dad, and his...
No, that's the anime man. That's the... Yeah. He's a really old YouTuber. And then, I don't know the reason why, but he, like, became gun obsessed. And then he murdered his family. Then he, like... he wrote, "Please forgive me" on one of the doors or something. Like, this shit was ridiculous, dude.
brother, but investigators say he planned on killing many more.
Mr. Anime.
On March 12, 2012, a tragedy unfolded in the house of Trace Hessler, a popular anime reviewer. To the outside world, this seemed like an abrupt event. In reality, however, it had been always on the verge of happening. Trey was when he created his YouTube account, Lenscap Productions. His usual uploads were edgy and humorous anime reviews, which earned him the name Mr. Anime. And apart from that, Trey was also an aspiring filmmaker, so he frequently uploaded short films to his channel that featured his brother Mark and mother Rhonda. But over time, his content began to shift. As the years passed, Trey's style,
he started becoming obsessed with guns out of nowhere,
and demeanor began to
I'm saying this like I watched this, but I've just seen so many videos covering this case.
drastically change. He became darker, sometimes even talking about unaliving himself.
Yeah.
And his channel's content was also slowly moving away from anime towards discussions on guns. He started displaying rifles and joking about them. In one particular video, he even used a rifle to shoot a couch. One of the first people to notice Trey's fascination with guns was Charles Scroggins, an old man who lived in Hempstead, to whom Trey frequently showed off his guns to. Now, Charles was initially fine with the whole gun talk, but he also slowly realized that Trey started talking about shooting humans and not just animals. And this struck Charles as very odd and disturbing.
Look at his arm. Hold on, bro.
About shooting humans and not just animals.
Look at the way his arm is bending, dude. Dude. What the fuck? Oh, that might just be the... Okay.
And this struck Charles as
that shit look like if it shoots, his elbow gonna shoot out.
very odd and disturbing. Even Rhonda, his mother, started to notice things, but she kept quiet. For example, she found out that Trey was into killing animals with his pistol.
What the fuck?
Totally sober when I shot my cat. I grabbed the brick barrel 20 gauge and I pulled the hammer back and I shot the cat basically like in half.
But these incidents were actually ignored as signs of a deeper turmoil. Unbeknownst to all,
no, you can't ignore signs like that. Killing small animals, bro, come on, man. That's like, what? That's like serial killer 101. Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Trey was even secretly doing something far more sinister. He made a list of all the school attacks that took place in the US.
Yeah,
and he graded them
he got obsessed with Columbine
according to the weapons they used. And he also started researching serial killers and even planned to turn into one. Slowly, his behavior became so crazed that he even called the police and inquired whether or not a civilian could possess body armor. And when asked why he inquired about this, he simply replied with that he just wanted to know since he saw someone selling it. The officer who actually spoke with Trey was Michael Maths, the same officer who would be one of the first witnesses to Trey's destruction. And so in early 2012, Trey started creating a plan to attack people in his high school. That year, he also posted a video titled "Mr. Anime is planning something."
This is the shit that I be talking about when I say niggas be doing too fucking much, bro. This is crazy, dude. Whatever you got going on in your life does not require you to fuck up anybody else's. Like, I just don't understand what the mindset is that leads you to wanting to do this. What benefit do you gain from this? You know what I'm saying? I'll never understand.
As if to hint at this, but little did the viewers know what would really happen. On the night of March 20th, Trey drove from his Hempstead residence, where he'd moved after his grandmother passed away, to his parents' home. And after parking his Mustang in the garage, he went in the hallway and called his mother to inspect a bump on the car. This wasn't his actual intention though. When she arrived, he decided to shoot her 4 times. And hearing these shots, his brother also asked him what happened. And in reply, once he saw him, Trey shot him twice. But since those shots actually missed, Mark escaped and hid in the bathroom. Meanwhile, Trey went to his father, who was half asleep, and unfortunately shot him twice too. He then went to the bathroom where Mark was hiding, and shot through the door until he passed away. But it didn't stop there. Slowly realizing what he had done, Trey started breaking down more and more. According to himself, he started to randomly shoot his already dead family members. For him, it was a way of ensuring that they didn't suffer.
Since I already shot 3 people, I don't want anyone to be suffering laying on the floor for hours.
What's crazy is you did all that, but suddenly, you can't pull the trigger on yourself.
Moaning and groaning. I gotta retrace with a more powerful weapon and shoot again.
And once the clock struck midnight, Trey started to actually break down and destroy the entire house. He even wrote messages on the surface of their doors. Why did
that's what I was talking about.
I do this? And I love my mom, dad, and brother. And God forgive me because I cannot forgive myself. At noon the next day,
God don't want people like you anywhere near his kingdom.
He finally left the house after calling his parents' workplaces and telling them that they wouldn't be coming because they were sick. He then started his Mustang and fled. But this was hardly the end, since he then went to the place where he actually planned the attack, which was his own school. But after watching the flood of people actually coming out, Trey hesitated to actually attack. Finally deciding against it, he left the school campus to spend the night at a friend's house. Now relatives of the Sessler family actually started to panic as no one from the household was responding.
Imagine being the friend that he stayed with and you had no idea. You just let somebody who killed his entire family into your house.
To their calls or messages. So they eventually decided to call the police and ask them to conduct a welfare check. And when Officer Michael actually entered the Sessler house, he was horrified to find the scene of destruction laid out there. In no time, there was a police squad looking for Trey, and within hours of tracking him to his friend Casey's house, the police surrounded him from all.
Justice for Casey. That I would literally probably have to put hands on Trey myself.
Sides. But even then, Trey almost made things violent, but decided to stop at the last moment. Now Trey's friend Casey was actually surprised by this, since he had no idea what Trey just did to his family back in his house. His surprise seemed evident in the body cam recording at the time of the arrest. Now after being arrested, Trey was interrogated regarding his motives in committing the crimes, and this was his answer.
I mean, do you have any idea what set you off?
There wasn't any kind of argument. I guess too much exposure to violence had built up over all the things that I had like shot and all that stuff.
But why them? Why your mom, your dad, and your brother?
Maybe because they were the first immediate human targets in my sight.
On August 2nd, 2012, Trey then pleaded guilty to all the charges and was sentenced to life in prison without any chance of parole. But while the victims were mostly adults here, it is different with the next one.
Into her house and strangled her. The
in 2021, the Okayama District Court was the center of attention in Japan, all to one man being tried for a murder case, Kunihiko Katsuya. The funny thing is that Katsuya was already sentenced to 10 years of prison for stabbing a girl in 2015, but just as his sentence was ending, the dark secrets about his past began to surface. It all starts when Katsuya is a teenager in the year 2000. At that point in time, his violent tendencies started appearing as random acts of punching and his female classmates. There seemed to be no reason
what to say? Hurt girls and girls with his fist in 2000, a screwdriver in 2010, and a knife in 2015. According to the doctors, they repeatedly perpetrate acts against girls, relieve their sexual desire, and seek higher pleasure. As a result, their actions became cruel.
Random acts of punching and his female classmates. There seemed to be no reason why he did it, but for these offenses he only received a few weeks of probation. After that, Katsuya's name didn't appear in any arrest records until 2010 when the police arrested him for punching it and stabbing her with a screwdriver.
What is wrong with this nigga? What is genuinely wrong with this nigga?
The court at the time that found him guilty sentenced him to 4 years in prison. His crimes had clearly escalated, but they fade in comparison to what came next. In 2014, after serving time in prison, he immediately found his way back just months later, where he committed a more heinous crime. He stalked a girl and ended up stabbing her brutally. Despite bleeding heavily though, she would still survive. And it didn't take the police much time figuring out that Katsuya was...
She survived?
Oh, she would still survive. And it didn't take the police much time figuring out that Katsuya was behind all of this too. And so a few months later, he was sentenced to 10 years of prison life. And this is when his fate seems to take a turn. And to know why, we have to move to the past again. In the years between 2004 to 2007, 3 notable cases of stabbing had occurred. In the 2004 one, a named Yukiko Tsushio was stabbed by a man in Tsuyama who forcefully...
Why is this a frequent occurrence? Why is this happening more than once?
Entered her house, but despite being rushed to the hospital, the girl died due to the nature of the injuries.
Rest in peace,
Similarly, in 2006, another be stabbed while she was going back home, and this time again the stabs proved to be fatal. The police even released the CCTV footage of the suspect to the public, but this strategy failed since no one could identify the killer. And then in 2007, Suzuki Unoze was stabbed right in front of her house while returning from school, and while she was transferred to the hospital, all she could mumble were the words,
"An adult and a man."
But sadly, she too lost her life due to the injuries. These three cases were particularly notorious because the criminal remained unknown, but this was until 2017
Don't tell me they connected it with this nigga.
when the police started connecting the dots. It was Katsuya who committed all three of the other stabbings, and surprisingly they were right on the mark, because soon enough in a letter to his mother that year, Katsuya would basically admit to those crimes. But when investigators questioned him, his answers were inconsistent. While he initially denied the allegations, his denials became less frequent over time. In a session with a psychiatrist, for example, Katsuya almost confessed to the crimes. And this is one of the psychiatrist's reports that reads,
At the time of the evaluation in 2015, the defendant's IQ was 76, and at the time it was not clear that he was mentally disabled. At the current assessment, the defendant's IQ is 70, which is below the standard of 69 for intellectual disability. The doctor also said the defendant did not have any mental disorder that would affect his legal judgment at the time of the incident, and that his personality traits could explain the entire incident.
The fact that his IQ was so low at the time of the investigation meant that any confession he made was close to being invalid, but the doctor went forward with the evaluation and found unsettling corners of Katsuya's personality.
This is just so fucked up, bro.
Noted that Katsuya's tendencies lean towards sadism and quote-unquote loving. In his personal life, Katsuya also seemed to love a specific genre of anime called bishoujo anime, which is a broad term used to describe
beautiful girl.
Anime/manga that shows female characters as cute, and although this genre is generally considered clean, the female characters in these anime often border on being depicted as dolly or suggestive young girls. And the doctor supposed that this might have had something to do with Katsuya's crime, and upon further investigation, it was also revealed that Katsuya had around 8,000 images of bishoujo girls saved on his phone, and that while he was in prison, he continually demanded manga from his mother. And slowly but surely during his evaluations, Katsuya would also begin to reveal his sinister fantasies.
From the time I entered school, I imagined a girl in a white blouse suffering.
And then he would describe how he would hurt her.
I'm genuinely at a loss for words, bro. Like, this guy just sounds like he's just straight evil. Like, I can't even crack no jokes or nothing, bro. I'm just sitting here speechless. I'm just absorbing everything, bro. That's why I'm just sitting here like, what the fuck, dude?
In very graphic details. But when asked if he regretted his actions, he responded that he never felt any remorse for his victims.
What the fuck,
and this is a snippet of the trial's conversation.
You said you were going to follow the and it would be fun to watch. But is the target a from elementary, middle, or high school? Well, I think it's all. Elementary, middle, and high school included. I targeted them all if they were cute.
I hope people in prison find out he's a chomo and they handle him.
The defendant was living in Hyogo Prefecture at the time, but he loved cars and often went out.
From what you said you had been to Tsuyama City about 4 times before this incident. Yes, both cars were parked in the same parking lot on the 8th floor of the same shopping center. How were you doing when you hit the ground? All 4 times I got off on the fire escape. The reason was that I thought there might be security cameras in the elevator.
What the fuck?
When are you talking about? About 2003 to 2004.
Katsuya explained that he left home planning to stop at the Totori sand dunes before heading to Tsuyama. He parked at a shopping center, wandered for a while, and came across an elementary school. There he noticed a walking home alone and decided to follow her. And eventually, learning where she lived, he went to her house and asked her the time and followed her inside. And what he planned started as a prank, of course, quickly turned into something far more serious.
I thought the girl was cute and I wanted to play a prank on her, but it didn't play any prank.
What prank are you talking about? What prank requires you to follow a child home?
I strangled her. She resisted so violently that I strangled her again and then took out a small sword from my bag.
And when asked why he did all of this, Katsuya gave a blunt answer.
I strangled the girl to see her suffer,
he said.
I was trying to knock her out and play a trick on her. The girl collapsed, but I didn't want to make a scene, so I stabbed her 4 times in the chest and stomach. I strangled her for 2 reasons, to see her suffer and to play a prank on her.
Now finally, over the course of many hearings, Katsuya again would be sentenced to a life sentence in 2022 for the Tsuyama killings. And for
What's
now,
the purpose of hiding your face like niggas don't already know what you look like? What's the purpose of... Nigga, we already know what you did. Don't try to hide your face now like you feel some type of shame.
the prosecution is still trying to charge him for the 2 other murders. Once again, check out My Heritage to find...
Shout out My Heritage, bro. That video... God damn, that video just... God damn, bro. What the fuck, dude? Shout out Yapmaster, bro. That was a good video. Yapmaster did his thing. It's just the people that he talked about just sucked the life out of me. I don't even feel funny enough to say no Diddy to that. Stay safe out there, y'all. Please.